The station here in Whitby is the end of the line for the North Yorkshire Moors Railway. It's a 24-mile stretch of track which runs from here to Pickering, and it's one of the most beautiful railways in the country as it cuts right through the National Park. And it's a wonderful way to see the moorland. So today, I'm going to let the train take the strain.
The people of Whitby needed a railway to transport goods like coal and timber from the harbour out to towns inland and bring produce back to the ships at port. The Whitby to Pickering Railway took more than 5 years to build and was opened with great celebration on the 26th of May 1836, although for nearly 10 years the trains back then used to be pulled by horses.
The railway has seen many changes over the years. Now, this is a fully operational heritage railway with big, powerful steam engines, charming carriages and delightful period stations. And of course, ever-changing scenery. But it hasn't always been like that.
Joining me in the Western Saloon carriage is Philip Benham, manager of the railway.
So tell me a little bit more about this incredible line.
One of the first railways built in Britain. It started up in 1835 and it was horse-drawn, designed by George Stephenson, who's generally known as the father of railways.
Yeah.
And horse-drawn railway from Whitby through to Pickering, right the way through the North York Moors.
Gosh, how long did that take?
Oh, a long time. It also involved going up a rope-hauled incline through the village of Goathland, so
Yeah.
it was, yes, quite rough and ready in those days.
How did it progress?
It became a very important railway. In fact, you could get trains from London through to Whitby here right up to the 1960s.
Incredible.
And it helped to develop Whitby, of course, as a holiday resort.
Obviously, the Beeching plan came along. Tell me a little bit more about that and Dr. Beeching.
Well, Dr. Richard Beeching was appointed as the chairman of British Railways in the early 1960s, and his remit was to try and make the railways pay. And he came out with this reshaping plan that envisaged closing large parts of the network.
Yeah.
Very controversial, mainly branch lines, but also some rather busier routes. And that included this line into Whitby.
So what happened after the Beeching plan?
Well, the closure was very controversial, and within a couple of years there was a group formed to try and reopen the railway. In fact, the founder, Tom Salmon, who called that meeting, is still with us, still a supporter of the railway to this day. And he and a number of other friends and people in the community started a society to see if they could get the railway reopened. Initially just between Gromont and Goathland, just about 3 miles. But in the end, through the help of the North Riding County Council and the new national park that was being set up in the moors, the line was opened through to Pickering in one go by the Duchess of Kent. 1st of May 1973 was the official reopening train. And of course it's gone from strength to strength over the last third of a century.
It's wonderful and it is extremely popular.
It's very popular. We carry over 300,000 passengers a year, which is a lot of people. Of course it's run very largely by volunteers.
Yeah.
A few people like me who get paid, but it was started by volunteers, and that's the unique essence of a line like this, that it's the people who own it, who run it, and of course they have great love for the railway and everything on it.
The stations along the line are themed from different periods. Pulling into Gromont Station is like stepping back into the 1950s. I'm here to catch up with the driver.
Jerry, how long have you been driving trains?
About 10 years on this railway and about 8 or 9 years on VR.
How old is the engine?
About 1925. Worked on the Somerset and Dorset. They were built for that railway. They were built at Darlington and they worked on the Somerset and Dorset.
What speed can she do?
Well, we'll do about 35 flat out,
Yeah.
40, but up here 25. You want to push the regulator a bit more. Here, push it up a little bit more. That's it, that's it. That's it. You want to put a bit on?
I'll put a bit on.
Yeah. Don't throw the shovel in.
Don't. God, that's so hot. That's really, really hot, isn't it?
3,000 degrees.
3,000 degrees. Does it get through a lot of coal?
I could burn about a ton and a half.
Just from Pickering to Whitby, a ton and a half.
Well, Roman to Pickering and back there again.
I think this has got to be the best scenery in the world.
I was born up here.
You were born here?
Yeah.
You were...
Valley, yes. Yeah. Back home.
You're back home.
The next stop on the journey is Goathland. Although it might not look it, this is the most recent station on the railway and was built as accommodation for the station master and his family. This charming station has somewhat of a celebrity status. It's also been known as Aidensfield in ITV's Heartbeat and as the spectacular Hogsmeade in the first Harry Potter film.
Sadly, this is where my trip ends because I've got to get off. The train is going onward now to Pickering, but I've got to get back to Whitby. It's been an incredible day out. If you're ever up here on holiday, please climb aboard and experience this, the golden age of steam. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Big step.